Hey, this is Peter. Thanks for joining me on this Domino First Play. I'm super excited to get to show you this video, but I do want to say this is a digital copy of the game, but I scanned in all these cards myself. You're not going to find it online anywhere. This is something I did scan myself from the cards that I got from my own physical copy of the game. Please go support your publishers. This game cannot thrive without this. I only record digitally because it is so much easier for me to show you the cards, zoom in on everything. I feel more comfortable doing it, but please go support publishers. Thanks and enjoy the video. Hello and welcome to the One Stop Co-op Shop, your one stop for co-op news, reviews, and playthroughs. I'm Peter, and today I'm going to be playing through Marvel Champions. I am super excited. There's a brand new set that just came out, Next Evolution, and I just got it, so I'm so excited. I am playing through a new hero today for you. I'm playing through Domino. I'm going to show you most of the cards in her deck, if not all of them. But if you want to see me go through them one at a time and tell you my thoughts on each card as I open them up, go ahead and check out a video I have on the One Stop Co-op Shop stream channel called Domino and Cable Unboxing. And that will go through every single card. But I do want to show you her in action today. Now, this is my first time playing with the deck, so let's learn it together. We are going to be going through the first scenario of the campaign. I do want to say up front that Fantasy Flight did send us a copy of this box. I will do a little bit of my final thoughts at the end. It's not going to be an official review or anything, though. All right, Great Malkin here. It's Earth Orbit. Hey, Cable. You got this 200-inch screen, but only one channel. If you're bored, Wade, you could take a walk outside. Incoming emergency signal. Put it on screen, Professor. Hope, what is it? Someone is attacking the Morlock tunnels. I'm trying to fend them off, but I need backup. We're on our way. Now that's what I call entertainment. Take cover until we arrive. Don't try to be a hero. I know the drill, Dad. I had a good teacher. Boom! Professor, have the team meet us at the Morlock tunnels. Body slide by 3. So that is the scenario. These Morlocks are being attacked by this group called the Marauders, and there are 7 of them in this deck. You shuffle them at random at the beginning, find out who you're going against. I guess we will go against Chimera first. And they each have a different stat line. After you defeat one of them, you're going to put them under this routed card right over here, and then you immediately, the next villain activates under them, and so they will immediately activate after you defeat the villain that's on top. You have this knock over here, which is the first stage of this scenario. Force response. After resolving step 1 of the villain phase, place a knock counter here. If there are at least 3 knock counters here, go to stage 2A. If there are 3 villains under the routed, the players win the game. So it's going to start with 1 on the main scenario, and it is going to go up to, you have till 6, but these knock counters will probably advance it before you get to that 6. So let's look at Domino. She is Nina Thurman. She's a mutant with 3 recovery. Her action is to choose a card in your hand and swap it with the top card of your discard pile, limit once per round. Then on her other side, she has 1 thwart, 2 attack, 3 defense. When counting resources on cards, discard from the top of your deck, count each wild resource twice. And she has an action, choose a card in your hand, swap it with the top card of your deck, limit once per round. And so she can switch 1 card with the discard on her alter ego, and on her hero side, she can discard from the top of the deck, and you'll see why she wants to do that. And then remember, wild resources count twice, and she does have an awful lot of wild resources in her starting cards. So let's go ahead and draw up our starting hand and see what we've got. So we've got Overwatch. It's attached to a scheme, max 1 per scheme. Hero unearthed. When any amount of threat is removed from the attached scheme by a thwart, discard this card to remove an equal amount of threat from a different scheme. This is actually already in there. So if you have a lot of side schemes, really good. We have Digging Deep. This is a basic resource. Response after this card is discarded from the top of your deck, you get to add it to your hand. Really good. And actually, I probably want it in my discard pile, so I can go ahead and draw it at the top of my discard pile. So we have something new, which are these player-initiated side schemes. So they do all have victory on them, so they go away after you get rid of them. But this one is, when defeated, each player may discard 1 not elite minion from play. Well, I don't need that at the beginning of the game because I don't have minions. We have our good old fancy-dancy strength here. We have right place, right time, hero action, remove 3 threat from a scheme, and discard the top card of your deck. For each resource icon discarded this way, remove 1 additional threat from the scheme. And that's really her shtick, is you're going to be discarding cards from the top of the deck and trying to boost your actions with however many resource icons they have. Now, not super useful at the beginning of the game because we don't really have any threat. We have 1 threat total on the board right now. Now we can put out the side scheme, but we don't have any minions in play to discard either. And then we have Genius. So I'm going to keep my double resources, and I'm going to put everything else in the discard pile, because that's a lot of threat removal and minion removal, and not much I need. Including this Digging Deep, because again, I can always trade for it from the top of the deck. So I'm going to draw 4 more cards and see what I can get. All right, so we got Wolfsbane. After Wolfsbane thwarts, name card type, then discard the top card of your deck. If that card is the name type, you may add it to your hand. So that's kind of neat, considering, again, I can put whatever card I want on top. So I can get an, oh my gosh, energy as well. Well, I've got a lot of resources turn 1. And here's another one of these side schemes that are hero initiated. When defeated, the player may search their deck and discard pile for an identity-specific upgrade and put it into play. That goes right into play. Now, unfortunately, I got rid of all my thwarting cards, which is not the best at this moment, in all honesty. Yeah, so kind of wish I hadn't done that. And then we got Good Workout over here, which is an attack, deal 4 damage, discard the top card of your deck, deal an additional damage. All right, so we've got some options here. I actually think I'm going to keep this Digging Deep over here because I've got all these double resource cards that I don't necessarily need. And with Wolfsbane, if I say it's a resource card, I'll just draw it back into my hand anyway. So I'm actually not going to do my alter ego action, discarding to my discard pile and taking the top card. It's unnecessary at this point. So I am going to flip over, and I'm going to spend... So let me actually trade with the top card of my deck. I'm going to trade this energy here for the top card of my deck. Let's see what that is. That's a Digging Deep. Wow. More resources. Why not? All right, so Digging Deep only counts as a single resource, so I'm going to go ahead and use that wild single resource to put this superpower training into play. So that gets 3 on it. Wolfsbane can thwart for 2. After Wolfsbane thwarts, name a card type, then discard the top card of your deck. If it's that card, add it to your hand. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to we're going to overpay a little. We're going to pay 4 for Wolfsbane to put Wolfsbane into play. Then he is going to thwart for 2, adding a damage to him. But we get to call the top card. I'm going to call it a resource. We know it's that double resource because we put it on top. We're going to draw that into our hand because that's what Wolfsbane let us do. And we're going to remove 2 threat from this side scheme over here. Well, I'm trying to get rid of this thing. So let's go ahead and thwart for 2 myself to remove the last threat from that. And then we're going to put this in our discard pile. And then we get to search our deck and discard pile for an identity-specific upgrade and put it into play. And this will go to our victory display. Now, when looking through my deck for some hero-specific upgrades, there are quite a few of them in her deck, actually. She has 5 of them. So let's go through them. And actually, we don't need to go through both Domino's pistols because they're exactly the same. So let's go through the 4 different types of them. And remember, we get to put it right into play. So probability field. When you use a basic power, discard the top card of your deck to get +1 to that power for this use. You get +1 to that power for this use for each resource icon discarded this way. So again, same with that discarding for resources. And you can use that for anything. Attack, defense. You can even use it for recovery because it's not a hero action. It's an interrupt. So restricted, hero action. Attack, exhaust Domino's pistol, choose an enemy, discard the top card of your deck, deal 1 damage to the enemy for each resource discarded this way. So double resources are going to be 2, but remember wild resources are also going to count as 2 because of Domino's special power. So that's just basically doing 1 damage for each resource icon. We got Lucky and Good, which is a defense. When a boost card is turned face up during an attack against you, exhaust Lucky and Good, cancel card's boost icons and boost ability, give the attacking enemy another boost card for the attack. So you get rid of whatever they attack you with, and you get to draw a new one. We also got Lucky Break, which is 0 cost. When you reveal an encounter card, discard Lucky Break, cancel the effects of that card and discard it, and reveal another one. So again, all about this luck. There are 2 Domino pistols here, which are really good because they're just like free damage, which is actually really good for this mission. But Probability Field feels like her best because no matter what you're doing, you get to discard resources and add to what you get out of that. So I'm going to go ahead and discard that, or I'm going to go ahead and put that directly into play. And then I am going to shuffle up these other upgrades into my deck. Now I still have good workout over here. So for 2 resources, which I got a double resource here. It feels like very Domino-esque, right? I'm getting lucky with a lot of my draws here, a lot of resources, things like that. Deal 4 damage to an enemy and discard the top card of your deck. For each resource icon discarded this way, deal an additional damage. So it's going to be 4 plus... Oh, I lost my pistol, but it is a wild resource, so that is 2 more damage. So it's going to be a total of 6 damage done to Chimera here. So she is half dead from that first initial volley. All right, so that is going to be it for my turn. I'm going to go ahead and ready up and draw up. She has 6 cards on her alter ego side, but only 5 on this side. Oh, I got Domino's other pistol. I also got White Fox, Outlaw. We got Overwatch, so some thwarting things as well. But we got our pistol and a couple of cool allies. But let's go ahead and resolve the enemy turn. They're going to add 1 to this, and then we add a knock counter to it. Remember, when this goes to 3, we immediately advance the stage. When she attacks, I can either spend a mental resource or she gets +2 attack. I'm just going to give her +2 attack. That is 3 total attack. I'm not quite ready to get rid of Wolfsbane yet, so I will go ahead and defend. I'm just going to take it. So it's a 3 attack plus a boost. And the boost is 1 more, so we are going to take 4 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down to 5, and now we're going to take our encounter card. Ooh, which is a guarding ally, Vertigo, who is another one of the Marauders. All right, so Force Interrupt. When Vertigo attacks you or an ally you control, choose stun a character you control, or Vertigo gets +2 attack. Now, she doesn't get the boost, but she's guarding the villain anyway, so there's not much we can do about it except for get rid of Vertigo in this situation. So let's see what White Fox is. Again, we know what our pistol is. Lets us attack and do extra damage. Seems real good. We also have White Fox here. After White Fox is discarded from the top of your deck, put her into play under your control. So remember, we can put her on the top of the deck there and make that happen. We also have Outlaw, who starts with Toughness. When Outlaw attacks, discard the top card of your deck. Outlaw gets +1 to the attack for each resource icon discarded this way. Also seems good. All right, I'm going to switch White Fox for the top of my deck because, again, when White Fox comes into play or gets discarded to use an ability, we get to put her directly into play. And we just got super lucky. Jackpot. After this card is discarded from the top of your deck, shuffle it back into your deck. Well, unfortunately, it's not on top of my deck anymore. I can't put it back there because, again, my ability is once per turn, but I am going to use it to pay for Outlaw, which seems like a good idea. So we're putting Outlaw in. Outlaw comes in tough. We're just going to leave Outlaw there to block for us this turn. And don't forget, when we defeat an enemy, the next enemy is going to activate right away. So it's good to have somebody sitting around that's got your back. I'm going to pay these other 2 resource cards to put a pistol into play. I know this is a boost of 1 on top here because I traded for the top card, and it's White Fox who's going to come into play. So I am going to attack, because I know I'll attack for 2. Don't forget, I get this probability field, so +1 for the top card. So I'm going to go ahead and attack Vertigo here for 2, plus the top card, which is 1. And remember, White Fox says after White Fox is discarded from your deck, put her into play under your control. So there you go. There's another ally. So we just did 3 damage, my 2, plus the 1 for White Fox and probability field. Then I'm going to have White Fox attack and defeat this enemy here. Then, let's go right after the boss, shall we? I don't know what the top card of my deck is, so Wolfsbane ability probably won't come into play, but who knows? I could guess, right? I've gotten most of my resources out. Let's say it's an ally. Wolfsbane will go ahead and thwart for 2, get rid of that threat that's there. Even though I'm not too worried about it, if an advance comes up, it still could be an issue. So I'll go ahead and thwart those 2 down, even though it's probably going to advance anyway without me having done that. So I get to, what do I have to do? For Wolfsbane Swords, name a card, then discard the top card of your deck. So I do have to discard it. I said ally. Let's see. Oh, I should have said resource. Man, a lot of resources. And I just lost that for when I use my pistol. I'm going to exhaust my pistol and flip up the top card. Oh, so that's only one icon. It would have been 2 if Digging Deep was the right card, because that is a wild resource, so it would have counted twice, and I would have got to draw it in my hand. That would have been super nice, but it's only 1 damage. We're going to go ahead and plink that off the villain right here, and we are going to call that the end of our turn. Let's go ahead and ready everything up and go ahead and draw back up to 5 cards. Well, there's that ally, Atlas Bear, that I was hoping for. Ooh, we also got the Painted Lady. After you discard a card from the top of your deck, attach that card face down here to a maximum of 3. When you're on Alter Ego side, you can exhaust the Painted Lady to add a card from here back to your hand. So you can get those cards. Ooh, we got the Posse. Play only if you control at least 3 characters with the Posse trait. I actually might have that. So Domino is Posse. Nope, that's X-Force. We do have Outlaw Posse here, and White Fox is the Posse. So we do have 3 with Posse. What does this let us do? Hero action. Heal 1 damage from each Posse character and ready them. That seems real good for 2. Yep, we will probably use that in a minute. We also have Even the Odds. 2 costs, remove 1 threat from each side, scheme and deal 1 damage to the villain for each one defeated that way. I think we're going to do Painted Lady and the Posse as our 2 actions. But let's go ahead and deal with the villain turn first. So first we're going to add a threat, then we're going to add a knock token. Then the villain's going to attack us. We are going to use this outlaw here, named Outlaw, to defend that attack. So we are clearly going to give Chimera +2 to her attack. So she's attacking for 3 plus 3 more. That is 6. But thankfully, we had a tough. So that just goes away, and we're going to draw our encounter card. Seek the Weak. It's a treachery. When revealed hero, the villain attacks you. If there's at least 1 villain under routed, this attack gains overkill. Well, there is not. And we do have a hero with 2 damage. So we're just, or a ally with 2 damage. We're just going to have him defend for us. So that's 3 attack for Chimera plus a boost of another 2. So that's 5. Woo! Thankfully, we have such nice allies that are willing to jump in the way. Thank you, Wolfsbane. One of my new favorite allies, by the way, only because, if nothing else, just the art. And, I mean, come on. I love werewolves. Pretty cool. All right, so that is it for the villain turn, and we're going to do exactly what I said. But first, we're going to do something with White Fox and with ourselves. So I'm going to go ahead and attack. I'm going to use this probability field to look at the top card. You know, I should have changed it with a card from my hand, but none of the cards in my hand actually were wild resources, so putting them on top of my deck actually wouldn't have helped me in this situation. I still have the ability to do it later, though, if I do want to put something on top of my deck. But I'm pretty happy with this because it's Pip the Pug. It would have been a cool card to get in play. It's an alter ego action, exhaust Pip the Pug. Put 1 Domino or Posse card from your discard pile on top of your deck. Don't get to do that, unfortunately, but it is a wild resource, so it counts as 2. So I attacked for 2, plus 2 more is going to be 4. And guess what happened? We just defeated this villain. So we're going to put this under the routed card. So that is 1 villain down, 2 to go. And right away, Harpoon is going to activate against us. Force response: when Harpoon attacks, you or an ally you control either take 2 indirect damage or give Harpoon an additional face down boost card for this attack. Huh. I only have 5 life. She's going to attack me for 2. I'm going to take 2 indirect damage. And you know what? I'm putting 1 over. I'm going to put both of them actually over here. And then I am going to take this attack. So it's 2 plus a boost of 0. Woo! For getting me down to 3 life. This is not pretty right now, but I do have the Posse. All right, so first things first, I'm going to put Painted Lady into play. So remember, after you discard a card from the top of your deck, probably should have done this earlier before I attacked and discarded Pig the Pug. What is it? Pip the Pug? Pip the Pug. I could have taken that card and put it under this. I should have done it in reverse order, but I didn't, so I'm just going to take it as it is. We are going to use, so who is Harpoon is the next villain. Harpoon comes in with 10 hit points. So let's go ahead and set that, and we're going to start working on right now. So we're going to go ahead and attack with White Fox, so that is 1 damage. Then we are going to play the Posse. So play only if you control at least 3 Posse characters, which I do. Hero action, heal 1 damage from each Posse character and ready them. So 1, 2, 3. I'm going to go and ready myself and heal myself a damage. Ready both of these characters and heal them both a damage. But guess what? they're about to get damaged again anyway, because they're both going to attack. So that is a total of 1 attack, plus a total of 1 attack. And then we discard the top card of our deck. So it's 2 damage, plus 1 more is 3. So let's go 1, 2, 3. I could put that card underneath this right now. You know what? I don't want this card in my deck anymore, so I'm actually going to put it under here as a way to cull it from my deck. So that's a second use for this. You don't have to just put cards under there you want. I'm going to put 1 card at least that I want under there, because I do want to use this alter ego action when I go face down in a minute. But I'm going to attack myself, and because, again, probability field does not say once per turn, you don't have to exhaust it. Anything else, we're going to go ahead and use that probability field, so we're attacking for 2, plus another 2, and I probably will put this under there. So that's going to be 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 damage. So I don't necessarily want to kill this villain here, because then I'm going to have to take another attack, and I have literally nobody left to defend me. So I'm a little worried about using my gun right here, which I could do to do damage. But if I do 2, if this is a wild card or a double resource, I would be in trouble. And it is a hero action, so I can't even go alter ego and then do it and let him add threat. So I'm actually going to flip down this turn, I think. So this is a thwarting card, by the way. Remove 3 threat from a scheme and discard the top card of the deck. For each resource icon discarded this way, remove 1 additional threat from the scheme. We're going to go ahead and do that, but I think I am going to flip down this turn. I'm sitting at 4 life. Again, we're getting dangerously... Well, no, I have 2... You know what? I have 2 allies. Forget it. I'm going to live on the edge. Let's go ahead and ready up and draw up. Living on the edge. Luck be a lady. There you go. I got some potential healing and other things. We'll go through those as we get there, though. Let's add 1 and add the 3rd knock counter here, though. So this says, after resolving a villain, add a knock counter here. If there are at least 3 knock counters, advance to stage 2A. So we're just going to advance directly to stage 2A. When revealed, each player puts 1 set-aside Morlock ally into play under their control. 2 set-aside Morlock allies if this is a single-player game. Shuffle the Hide Treachery into the encounter deck. All right, so we are going to take this Hide card and put it into the Treachery deck. This is a good card for us. It's a Surge. When revealed, give 1 Morlock ally the Tough status. So that is a good thing, because these Morlock allies we're going to have to keep alive. Let's go ahead and take 2 of them, put them into play because we are playing a single-player game in front of us. And they're -1 victory if they're defeated. Does not count against your ally limit. Card abilities cannot remove this ally from play. Forced interrupt. When an enemy attacks you, it attacks a Morlock you control instead. So these Morlocks are going to be what they're trying to defeat, and you need to have at least 1 Morlock to win. Action, you can exhaust an ally, a Morlock ally, to shuffle Hide from the encounter discard pile back into the deck. So if Hide comes out, you can exhaust an ally or a Morlock to put it back in. If there are 3 villains under the routed, the players win the game. If the stage is completed or there are no Morlock allies in play, the players lose the mission. So if either this gets up to 8 and it does start at 0, or if we lose both of these Morlocks, we also lose before we defeat 2 more villains. So they're going to attack the Morlocks. So I'm actually going to let that happen because they got tough. I'm going to give her an additional boost card. Hopefully it doesn't give her piercing. We do have a star here, so it's going to be 2 more. So she's 2 plus 2 more is 4, but this star, if you control a Morlock ally, choose to either deal 1 damage to it or spend a resource of any type. That's rough. I am actually going to spend this Feral card here. The odds of me playing it are not very good. I don't want him to plink this off and then hit him. So I'm going to just spend that resource. So again, that's an attack for 4, but it doesn't matter. The Morlock has tough, so that goes away. Now we're going to go ahead and draw an encounter card. And it is Shadows of the Past. Oh my. Well, let's see how bad her encounter set is, shall we? By the way, when we draw... So we play Marvel Champions every Friday night on our streaming channel. When we draw Shadows of the Past, it's everybody drinks. So if you want to drink at home, feel free to drink. We would normally do that on a Friday night. So let's see. Topaz over here is a 2 attack, 1 scheme minion. Mutant, when revealed, search the encounter deck and discard pile and set aside area for 1 copy of Superpower Feedback and attach it to your identity. Shuffle. Well, I'm sure it's in here. Yep, superpower feedback. So let's see what that is, because this is now attached to my identity. Force response. After you resolve an ability on your identity or an identity-specific card, take 1 damage. Wow. Alter ego action, discard an identity-specific card from your hand to discard this card. That seems real terrible considering, like, all her cards are hero-specific. Yeah, no, that's not good. I think I'm going to go down and heal a little bit this turn, I think is what I'm doing. And that has kind of convinced me that that is a good idea. So we'll put another one of those, by the way, in the deck, as well as, I guess she's got mutant minions as well. So let's see, this will come into play. So, not my lucky day. Domino's having a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. When revealed, each player must either take a damage or place 2 threat here. So this is going to be at 3. I will take a damage because I am going to alter ego this turn. So that's no bueno. A lot of bad stuff just happened there. So actually, I was planning on defeating the villain Harpoon this turn, but I actually think I am not going to do that because Harpoon schemes for 0, and that's not the worst thing in the world. So I'm going to leave these allies here as they are. I am going to try to defeat this and defeat this side scheme if possible. I don't think it's possible. We'll see. I got Diamondback over here. Action. Exhaust Diamondback to deal 1 damage to her and discard the top card of your deck. Deal 1 damage to each enemy for each resource icon discarded this way. So that would be 2 and 1. But is that like, let's see. After you resolve an ability on your identity or an identity-specific card, which Diamondback definitely is an identity-specific card. By the way, she has 2 allies in her deck, which is kind of cool. We got Outlaw over here. Oops, that's White Fox. We got Outlaw and we got Diamondback. So that's pretty neat. So we do have Sharpshooter. When you make a ranged attack, discard the top card of the deck. This attack deals 1 additional damage for each resource icon discarded this way. That is kind of neat because that lets our pistol, which is a ranged attack, also add additional boost card on top of the one it normally gets, which is pretty stinking spiffy. But we have Luck Be a Lady. This is a hard one not to use. Discard the top card of your deck and count its resource icons. For each resource discarded this way, heal. You can remove threat from a scheme. You can deal damage to an enemy. Or if it's a wild, you could choose from the above. So I'm gonna take some damage here. I'm gonna go ahead and do Diamondback. And when does it say to do this? After you resolve an ability on your identity. Okay, so I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna trade Diamondback to the top of my deck to make sure I got a wild resource there. Unfortunately, I already had a wild resource there, so that just hurts me. But that's okay. I wanted to guarantee it. So I am going to do Luck Be a Lady. So I'm going to go ahead and pay the good workout to play Luck Be a Lady. Discard the top card of your deck and count the resource on it. Well, we know this is going to be a double resource and it counts as a double wild. And I will go ahead. Oh no, I'm not going to do that. Because if I put it under here, I got to take another damage, which would kill me. So that's bad. But let's see what we can do. So I can do any 2 of these things. So I'm going to heal 2 damage because otherwise I'm dead. Because I am going to take a damage from using the ability on this card. And then I am going to deal 3 damage to an enemy to go ahead and get rid of my nemesis over here, which I don't particularly love. Then I'd love to heal, but I'm not going to be able to do that. So what I'm going to do, force response, after you resolve an ability on your identity, that even counts alter ego side, huh? Wow, that's pretty brutal. All right, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to thwart. Oh, I only thwart for 1, huh? It's not great. I'm not going to thwart. I'm just going to flip over and I'm going to heal for 3. We'll take the additional boost icon for now. I will continue with my horrible, no good, very bad day. Then I am going to do this to draw this card to my hand. I got to exhaust it. That does mean it's a forced response. It doesn't say after you resolve an ability on your identity. So yeah, I take a damage for that, which is wonderful. Gotta love that. But now I have 2 resources to pay for Sharpshooter. Sharpshooter, I definitely think is worth it. And actually, I'm going to move this down here. And I'm going to put this next to Domino's Pistol so I remember to do it. So whenever I use Domino's Pistol, I get to draw 2 cards and boost by both of them, which seems real good. I don't have an identity-specific card to discard. I will definitely guarantee myself one next turn, though, because underneath my Painted Lady, there is another one. I hope to get rid of it with a card from my hand. Don't forget, I can also use my ability to do that. But again, anytime I use an ability, I'm going to take damage. So I'm going to leave the villain as is right now, and I am going to go ahead and just draw up. So I'm going to draw 6 cards because I'm alter ego. I do get an extra encounter card because I decked. So I do have Lucky Break. I do have Luck Be a Lady. So I do have some cards that I can discard. I got another Sharpshooter. Oh, max 1 per player. Never mind. But this would count for all my pistols. So I only need one of these in play, which seems real good. I like that. All right. So let's go ahead and do the villain's turn first, though. We're going to do that. She's going to scheme now for 0, which is, another one of those stupid superpower feedbacks. So actually, thankfully for that, but it is a boost of 1. So I'll add an additional 1 there, plus no good, horrible, very bad day. So that's another boost over there. And then let's go in and deal with our 2 encounter cards, shall we? The first one is a mutant. Prototype gets +1 hit point for each luck counter on him. When revealed, place luck counters on prototype equal to the amount of damage your identity has sustained. So we're at 6, so that is 3. So prototype over here gets 3 luck counters. He does not like it when you are damaged. Well, he likes it a lot, actually. So that's +1 hit point. So that's 4 hit points for this prototype, which has 2/2. Wow. Alrighty then. Seek the Weak. When revealed alter ego, this card gains Surge. Okay, good. Not going to kill me. Not right now. Alright, so we have another encounter card here. Why not? It's going to have 3 on it. Each Marauder minion gains Quick Strike. Well, thankfully, we don't have any Marauder minions, but when they come in, they will have Quick Strike. When revealed, place 1 additional threat here for each character in play with 1 or more of the following: Mutant, X-Factor, X-Force, or X-Men. So we're definitely going to be increasing this. Not by any of these cards here, but let's look down here. So there's 1 mutant. 2 mutants. Nope. 3 mutants, 4 mutants. So just the 4? Great. So we're going to increase threat by 4 more. Ah, Quick Strike. Not wonderful. I'm not loving what is going on here, by the way. I think I'm going to stick with that 6 life too. I've got some blockers here. So we're just going to go with that. I'm going to get rid of Lucky Break, because when you reveal an encounter card, that saves me from Shadows of the Past. Too bad I didn't have it in play. Lucky and Good, I don't think I want that one either. So I'm going to get rid of Lucky and Good, but I might bring it back into my hand anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that to get rid of this garbage right here, because that's not great. Then I'm going to put Team Investigation in my discard to draw it. That way, at least I have the option to put it on top of my deck. That's a wild resource. I am going to use the Painted Lady to draw this Right Place, Right Time card to remove threat from a scheme, which seems good. Yeah, because both the main scheme and this horrible, no good, very bad day card are both in front of me, and I don't like either of them. Digging Deep, though, is actually the card I think I want to put on top of my deck. So we'll go ahead and do that. We will go ahead and take the top card, put Digging Deep. Oh, when I flip over, sorry. I'm not going to heal. I want to kill some stuff. So I'm not going to heal. Remove 3 threat from a side scheme. That seems good. Right Place, Right Time also seems good. Even the odds remove 1 threat from each side scheme, 1 per player threat. Yeah, no, that one doesn't seem as good. I don't need Sharpshooter and Lucky Break. Well, who knows? I've got 2 and 2. So yeah, no, I'll probably just play Team Investigation and Right Place, Right Time. So let's go ahead and do Team Investigation first. Yeah, 7 is way too much. I'm just leaving this in play. Yes, it gives Marauders Quick Strike, but I'm just going to have to deal with that. So let's do Team Investigation. That's going to cost me 2 resources. 1, 2 to do that, and that will remove 3 threat from a side scheme. So 1, 2, 3, this garbage gone. Then I'm going to pay 2 more for Right Place, Right Time. And then I'm not going to flip the top card, because I only need to remove 3. Remove 3 threat from a scheme and discard the top card of your deck. Never mind. It doesn't say optionally. For each resource icon discarded this way, remove that much threat. So you know what? Actually, I'm not going to do that. First thing I'll do is shoot with my pistol. Let's just make this nice and easy. And I will not boost with Sharpshooter. When you make a range attack, discard the top card. It's not a forced interrupt. It's just an interrupt. This one doesn't give you the option. So yeah, I'm going to use this because I know it's a double resource. It's Digging Deep, which I do get to add to my hand. After this card is discarded from the top of the deck, add it to your hand. it counts as 2 resources because of that. So I'm going to use my pistol to shoot for 2 and defeat Harpoon over here. So that's 2 villains under the villain display, which seems good. And then she's going to attack, either stun a character you control, or she gets +2 for this attack. You know what? I'll give her +2 because, again, I'm going to have her hit this Morlock over here. So 2 + 2 more is 4. Again, the tough gets in the way. And again, this is when an enemy attacks you, it attacks a Morlock you control instead. So it's not even optional. I don't have to block with it. I don't have to do anything. They just attack that Morlock. Now, a reminder, I already paid for right place, right time. So let's go ahead and remove the 3 threat now because this is not an optional flip from the top of my deck. So that's 1 more. But again, we only need to remove 3. So there is that. So I'm sorry, I should have exhausted my pistol because I used it to attack. So our next villain is Vertigo, who has 9 hit points. Seems very beatable. Hopefully we can do it now. All right, we're going to attack for 2 plus probability field. Lets us flip the top card of the deck. We'll go ahead and take this Atlas Bear out. By the way, it's a basic hero. Exhaust Atlas Bear. Look at the top card of a player deck. If that card is an event, you may deal 1 damage to Atlas Bear and add it to the owner's hand. But it also just lets you check the top of your deck, which is also good for Domino. So it's a nice card to have in her deck. But I'm going to go ahead and put it under the Painted Lady. I don't have to exhaust it. So even though it was already exhausted, I can still do that. So I attacked for 2 plus this boost of 1 more. So a total of 3. 1, 2, 3. So it looks like I'm not going to be able to defeat Vertigo this turn. So let's go ahead and give it 1 more turn. I'm going to keep digging deep in my hand. I'm going to draw 4 cards. Let's go ahead and we're not going to attack or do anything. Actually, you know what? Both of these Morlocks are going to attack. Why not? Morlocks want revenge. So they're going to take 2 damage to add 2 damage to her. And unfortunately, when Outlaw attacks, she could get +1. You know what? I'm going for it. Forget it. I'm going to just attack with Outlaw. She'll be dead, but that'll be fine. It'll be fine because we're getting a wild. Boom, boom, boom. All right, so that is 1 attack plus 2 more for a total of 1, 2, 3 damage. And guess what that means? That means, well, first of all, she dies of consequential damage because she had 3 life. All right, I didn't mess that up. And then White Fox with her 1 attack. Boom, boom, boom. Defeats Vertigo, and that defeats the scenario. You know, I was just about to go to the villain turn. I'm like, let's see what happens. So Vertigo goes away from consequential as well, but doesn't matter. After you've defeated the 3rd villain, that is going to be it. So let's get to final thoughts time. I had a lot of fun with Domino. She is very cool, very thematic. So her theme is that she's lucky. I don't know if you've seen Deadpool 2 or not, but that's where I know her from. I don't read the comics, anything else. But from Deadpool 2, she's just very lucky. She's like, that's my superpower. I'm lucky. And she gets to control that luck in this situation to make her lucky by putting the cards on top of her deck. She gets that wild resource counting as 2 resources, which 14 of her 15 signature cards have wild resources on them. They added more in to her precon as well to give her more wild resources. The only card that doesn't have wild resources literally has 1 of each resource type. So it's a triple resource card that keeps going back into her deck. So the theme of luck here, the way they deal with it, the theme of just getting to boost all your actions by flipping the top card, but you have control over the top card a lot of times of your deck. That is super fun, super thematic. And it is super fun to play. And as you can see, there are more situations I feel like here where you're like top decking and like, you may like that and you might not because you're also going to go through your deck faster. You're also going to discard cards like the pistol. Now there are things like that ship that lets you put it under, cards under there to save them instead of letting them get discarded. But, you know, there's just going to be bad situations sometimes. Sometimes like that last turn, you're going to flip the top card and go, I hope I get lucky here. And guess what? Your Domino, your deck is set up for you to get lucky. So you probably will get lucky. So I don't know. It's very cool, very fun, very thematic. Can see a lot of possibilities for deck building with her. Her stat line is really good for protection. So I think I'm going to run the gauntlet with her this week or next week. So pay attention to the one-stop Co-op Shop streaming channel and maybe catch me doing that. But also, if you like Marvel Champions content, check us out. We stream every Friday night on One Stop Co-op Shop streaming channel. I say every night, every Friday. It's not every Friday, but enough. There are so many back videos there. You will never get bored watching Marvel Champions. I promise you that there is so much stuff there for you to see. So I hope you enjoyed this. I know I did. Look out for my cable video that's coming next week. And until then, we will see you soon. Bye.